extreme heat warnings for the deserts. So it is going to be dangerously hot into areas of Palm Springs, Palm Desert, over into Indio. And this not just with the heat, but how dry the fuel is, and also with some gusty desert winds. We will have elevated fire danger. So just because we don't have red flag warnings or fire weather watches in place doesn't mean that we don't have elevated fire danger. We're kind of just heading into that time of year now where that's going to be the case with this heat and how dry our fuel is whenever we're dealing with heat. So really now for the foreseeable future and for a long stretch here. So elevated fire danger will really kick in here over the next couple days with the peak of the heat. The hottest days are expected to be tomorrow and Thursday, but these heat advisories and warnings will last several days. We could get some patchy marine layer clouds. That's expected to stay near the coastline, so we're not expecting a whole lot of that inland. Then we head into this weekend. Our temperatures dip a little bit, but humidity levels are expected to rise. I was talking about this yesterday morning, that chance of monsoonal weather. It's about a 10% shot that we could get some showers, but at the least some additional cloud coverage and maybe some humidity kicking in, kind of like what we saw on the 4th of July. So just know those heat advisories go in place today all the way through Friday for some spots, mid to upper 90s and isolated 100 degrees, not out of the question for some of our Valley and Inland Empire spots. Hottest days tomorrow and Thursday, and then that elevated fire danger will kick in too. And just to take a quick look at that 7-day for the Valleys and Inland Empire, we could hit a 100-degree mark, but just know the next several days, be really safe out there. Take advantage of the early morning hours, especially if you have pets. There's that cool down, but humidity levels and cloud coverage this weekend. All right, Tony, Tim, Irene, I'll send it back to you. So we're going to switch over to weather now, something that does impact all of us here in Southern California. And we are going to see some really hot temperatures today. So that heat does begin, and we're going to start to see temperatures a couple degrees warmer than yesterday. Yesterday already started to get warm, but just know that that extreme heat begins today. Hot inland, but very, very hot for some of our desert communities. The next few days, that continues on. That heat is set to peak tomorrow and Thursday. And then this weekend, we will see some slight cooling, but humidity levels are going to go up. Might feel a little muggy. It's still going to be warm, but we're going to have additional cloud coverage move in, because we were talking about this yesterday morning, and it still looks like it's on track, that we could see about a 10% shot of monsoonal showers sometime maybe between Sunday and Monday. It is still a little far out there, but just know that that's possible, and the better shot over the weekend looks to be on Sunday, but that could go into Monday too. So stay tuned, because we'll adjust that as it gets closer. Heat advisories in place for all of these areas. Yesterday, parts of the LA Basin got added to it as well. And so this goes from parts of Ventura County up into Santa Clarita, the LA Basin, the foothills, Pomona, all the way out to the Inland Empire, where we could even see an isolated 100-degree reading. So it is going to be hot. Heat-related illness is possible. So just be really careful spending time outdoors the next few days. Take advantage of these next couple hours. Get the dogs out for a walk early, because it's going to stay hot this afternoon and stay pretty warm here as we get into this evening as well. Extreme heat warnings in place for the low desert. We could get up to 114 to 116. And overnight lows in the 80s, so we're not going to see much relief there overnight either. Getting you out the door this morning, you can see over into Burbank, we have a nice sunny start, and temperature is very mild, 65 degrees, so you may not want a sweater for some spots. Elsewhere, we have cooled off a little bit more, looking into Irvine, where we do have some marine layer clouds here yet again. That's keeping things cooler in the low 60s, so you might want a little sweatshirt as you step out the door. You shouldn't need it long, though. We're going to start to heat up pretty quickly. And you'll notice Palm Springs, 79 degrees right now. A lot of us dealing with 60s though, but some mid 60s for some of the valleys. Still cool in Pasadena and Covina though, into the 50s. Then we're going to get into this afternoon, and we're going to start to see some mid and upper 90s for the IE. Temperatures getting into some mid 80s for parts of Orange County, 85 for downtown LA. Then we start heading into those northern valleys, and we're going to see about 94 Santa Clarita, 96 Northridge, and then getting close to 90 degrees over into Fillmore. Now, if you're in Los Angeles and Orange County, we're going to stay into some mid 80s. That weather change begins today, and so we're going to stay in that heat for several days, with heat advisories lasting into Thursday for some spots, Friday for others. Then this weekend, temperatures come down a bit, 10% shot. We could even get some showers. Valleys and Inland Empire, this is where it is going to get pretty hot here. Heading into tomorrow, we could even see triple-digit heat. Otherwise, a lot of mid-upper 90s the next several days. And then this weekend, we'll get down to about 90. We'll have some clouds move in, and there's about a 10 to 20% shot of getting an isolated shower. That goes for the coastline, too. Things are going to stay pretty mild here, but getting warmer in the mid-70s Wednesday, Thursday, all because of this high pressure that's just east of us, kind of near the Four Corners region, and we're going to stay pretty hot here for the next few days. All right. We're going to have more on your full forecast forecast coming up here, but for now, here's a look at some more of today's high temperatures, sponsored by Disney's Moana in theaters everywhere on Friday.